two proud football traditions. Yale, with roots that date back to the origins of the sport. Youngstown, steeped in modern playoff success and a championship pedigree. Today, they face off in round one of the FCS Playoffs. You are watching the FCS Championships on ESPN. We welcome you to storied Stambaugh Stadium, the Ice Palace here in Youngstown today, where it is the first ever showdown in program history between these two teams. We're so excited to have you with us for the next 3+ hours. Anthony Lima, national champion, Marcus Ray, late November football. Penguins haven't lost here in a playoff game in 17 matchups, and it is officially that time we're waiting for, win or go home.
Survive in advance, you either have to win in the cold or win on the road. It's going to be an interesting matchup. The top seeds are at home watching this one, but I tell you what, it's going to take toughness and talent to pull this one off.
All right, let's take a look at the bracket. Yes, a bracket. The Ivy League, not exactly used to something newfangled like this. They voted on it last year, and here we are. In fact, two Ivy League teams making their way in for Youngstown State. That's the standard here, making the second season. And today for the Yale Bulldogs, there's no doubt ball control going to be the name of the game. They are going to go to their workhorse early and often.
Josh Pitsenberger is one of the best running backs in the country. He is the Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year. Ran the ball 38 times last week. You see the numbers, 255 carries, more than 1,200 yards this season, 15 touchdowns. He does it inside and outside. Youngstown, their defense is going to have to locate and stop this man today.
And for the Penguins, they have a player that can flash from just about anywhere on the football field.
Kai Flash Wilson averages 10 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns. He can take the top off of any defense, and they will also hand him the football. They have to locate number one, or it's going to be a long day.
And the coaching matchup, a fun one indeed. Tony Reno, he has had quite a bit of success in the Ivy, 5 titles in the last 8 years. Program is certainly heading in the right direction. And Doug Phillips, he has just followed where his predecessors have continued to have success. He was here in the playoffs a couple of years ago with a win over Duquesne. And so today they square off. It's been a fun week, holiday week. These teams a little bit disoriented because got to go home and eat with the family, but still go to sleep with your tablets, have your playbooks ready, Marcus. It's a challenging time of the year.
Yeah, one of the good things is they were on campus with no students, so they were able to get ready for a playoff game without any distractions.
Well, Yale won the toss. That ball bounces and is retrieved. And Youngstown State will have the football opening up at the 20-yard line. One of the top offenses in the entire country, as getting a little chippy already. That's the way you want to start out a playoff game. 32 degrees. We were wondering if there'd be elements involved, but no snow, no ice. Does feel like championship time around these parts.
Yeah, they call this football weather, playoff football weather to be exact.
And so you'll get your first crack to see the 8th best offense in all the FCS. And Bo Brungard, what a season. Walter Payton finalist. He'll go out of the gun. You'll see a lot of this. Delay up the middle. The draw gets a few on first down.
Let's take another look at this young man's graphic. I mean, the numbers he's put up has just been phenomenal. On the ground, they like to run a lot of quarterback design runs. They have quick screens on the outside, so he makes a decision to throw the quick screen or run the run play.
He sends Jaden Gilbert in motion. Out to the edge, Brungard, quick screen, flash, Wilson trying to get a burst. The Bulldogs try to keep him on the other side of the chains, but it looks like it's enough for a Penguin first down.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of quick screens like that. That's just called a now screen. They want to get the ball in space and play with a lot of tempo.
First down. It's a keeper looking for that block on the edge. and gets a few, but Max Tomczak doing the dirty work.
Yeah, no block, no rock. And Tomczak is a great receiver in his own right, but watch the block that he makes here. It's really tough to stop quarterback run, but right there, you can't let the ball outside the defense. What a great unselfish play by Tomczak.
Run guard throws right down the middle. It's Austin Bray, his big tight end. That Penguin offense already approaching midfield.
Yeah, you see him, little quick game. That's called a stick route, and they went 4 receivers to one side. The defense couldn't match up.
And they'll go tempo. Right out to Flash Wilson, sidelines. And he bursts. Another move down to the 10-yard line like a freight train.
You see they're going tempo. Another quick now screen to the outside. Yale just can't get lined up right now.
41 yards. A lot after the catch. Brungard shifting, and finally, Bulldogs able to neutralize that offense on first down.
Let's take a look at the play before. You see that quick screen to the outside. It's just a now screen, but it only works when you get good blocking there. You saw big Austin Bray, and look at Flash Wilson. We talked about him at the beginning of the show, and you see why.
Second down and 9. A handoff inside to Ethan Wright. The senior out of Manchester in the Akron area.
Nice job there by that Yale front 4, trying to stop some of the bleeding and slow down the tempo. The field gets a lot shorter down here inside the 10-yard line, so expect those safeties to be heels on the goal line, getting downhill for quarterback run.
Already 3 tackles for Anubadoon. Third down. Brungard settling in. Looking left. Quick throw. Caught. Touchdown. Luke Hensley puts the Penguins on the board.
Got a little bit of laundry out there, Anthony. Might be a pick route.
We'll see if the 8-yard touchdown catch stands. It does
17.
not.
15-yard penalty. Replay third down.
So a costly penalty, and might be exactly what Yale was hoping for.
Yeah, that was on Alex McDonald, the tight end. They actually changed the formation, and he kind of gave a little pick and roll on the corner that time. That's how he opened up that passing lane.
3rd and 22. First big setback of the game for this explosive Penguin offense. Brungard will step up. Ball over the middle. It's caught. Tomczak, touchdown. 22 yards.
Well, what you saw there, buddy, was a great throw and catch. I tell you what, man, Wright ran a great route. Seam route, 4 vertical, long yardage. 4 vertical, but essentially becomes man-to-man. Brungard saw it, liked the matchup against Joshua Tarver down the seam.
And the extra point is good. 7-0.
Timeout on the field.
The Penguins, they strike first. We'll see what the Bulldogs have for response coming up. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of... So Youngstown State took the football, waltzed it down the field, 8 plays, 79 yards for the touchdown. Joshua Tarver retrieving the kickoff. He's past the 30 and a nice start and good field position. And we'll see now how that Bulldog offense can do as they take the football field down 7 points. But what a story. Dante Reno, their starting quarterback, offensive player of the week in the Ivy, a sensational year. This guy was recruited by about 30 Power 4 schools. And now he finds himself here in a playoff matchup. On first down, quick throw. Finds his tight end, Graham Smith.
See a nice play there by Dathan Hickey, former Yale player. He's fired up today, number 11. That's how you start off offensively, though, for the Bulldogs. You just get a quick, safe throw, calm everybody down. That's a glorified run play, too, by the way.
The ruling on the field of a catch and a fumble is under further review.
All right, so we'll take a look at it. Hickey already has his Bachelor of Arts from Yale in psychology. It's got to be fun to go up against his old teammates in a playoff game, in a game that matters.
Nothing like it, man. Very familiar with the other side. Friends, lifelong buddies, teammates. But today, throw that out the window. Let's take a look here. You see Reno getting a quick game throw out there to Smith. He made a football move. I think this one might come back. I'm not sure if he completely got that ball tucked away, right? He only got one step. Ew. Can go either way. I see why they're taking a look at that one. Nice job by Hickey of punching that football out.
Yeah, opportunistic. Something that the Penguins have certainly been talking about. They know that in a lot of these games, with their offense cooking the way they are, if they can just force a turnover, almost like in tennis, you get a break, that could be enough.
Definitely got to steal some possessions there. You don't want to be out there, with your defense out there all day long. He may have controlled that football, just when he turned, never quite tucked it away or got the other foot on the ground, but pretty interesting.
So we had a very quick, up-tempo, helter-skelter first possession that resulted in points, and now we will await to get clarity on that first play from scrimmage for Yale.
After review, say incomplete pass, second down.
All right, so wipe that completion off the board and the 6 yards that they had gained. So redo things here. Now second down and 10. For Dante Reno, the South Carolina transfer was actually backing up Lenora Sellers, who of course had Heisman hype the last few years. And there's the handoff up the middle, dragging defenders, Pitzenberger. All the way out to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, big Josh, man. He got some good blocking up front. They ran ISO there. It's good blocking. And what they're doing is overloading one side to get those defenders lined up left. And you see they ran the ball right through that A-gap. Excellent blocking up front. Leo Bloom, all-conference center. This man here, though, he can get going. 38 carries a week ago.
And 3rd and 2 opens up the playbook. Reno, the handoff. Penguins are there, and it is going to be right towards the marker. Side judge looks like he has enough spotting him towards that first down marker, and it is a first down. Colin Vaughn was there to make the tackle.
This is what Yale wants to do, Anthony. I mean, they don't mind getting in 3rd and short. They just don't want to get behind the sticks where they have to drop back and throw the ball all day long. But 3rd and 2 is in their favor.
Facing the 4-man front, Youngstown State brings a little more pressure. Reno driven out of bounds. So good pursuit that time by the Penguin defense.
Yeah, they brought some pressure there from the nickelback from the field. And that was excellent coverage on the back end. It's a good decision. You'll see from the right side of your screen, he'll get flushed out of the pocket. See the big fella, Michael Wells, kind of lost contained, but it's great coverage there. No one to throw to.
6'3", 250, the junior. Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Aiden Stevens in motion. The fake, got to get rid of it. It's tipped and picked off. Can he take it to the house? It's a touchdown, Penguins. There is a flag on the play as Dane Hodge was able to go all the way, and now anxious moments after the 47-yard pick six.
After the change of possession, illegal block in the back, intercepting team, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Youngstown State.
All right, so wipe the touchdown off the board, but the interception will stay.
Yeah, it started with the pressure by Mike Wells and then tips and overthrows and Johnny on the spot. That man, Dane Hodge, he actually brought some pressure to play before, but as you'll see, it's just they were trying to slip the ball out to Pitzenberger, and that was well defended by Youngstown State. And what a change of possession right there. See that turnover belt, Anthony? You're talking about that.
That's the turnover belt, and it's fitting here as Ray Boom Boom Mancini, one of the all-timers here in this region, American boxers. He presented them with a belt, has met with the team before, and they have fed off that energy. And now Penguins trying to keep it rolling. Flash makes a move and gets about 4 there on first down.
That's well defended there by the Bulldogs. It's just Flash Wilson could just make people miss. Keep an eye on that left tackle, Desmil Lee. He got out there and got a piece of a defender, but he's very athletic at 6'7", 325, possibly an NFL draft pick.
All right, so 2 on the play, 2nd and 8. Gilbert was in motion. Run guard cuts it to the outside and is tackled out of bounds. Anubadoon was there to bring him down.
You'll see once they motion Gilbert to the right, then now there are less defenders on the left side of that defense. And when you run what's called a single wing, essentially it's a wildcat with the quarterback in there, where the quarterback is a runner, then now they outnumber the defense in the box.
On first down again, Gilbert in motion. Run guard fakes to give. Is now flushed out of the pocket, and he turns it upfield. Look at the speed. Down the sidelines and out near the 20-yard line. How about the speed and the 23-yard gain from the QB?
Yeah, what you're seeing is RPO football, where he can hand it off. It's a run play, but now you got guys blocking continuously. He just extends plays and out-athletes guys on the perimeter.
This time the handoff, Ethan Wright breaks a tackle, tries to slip another, a spin move. Right now, the Gwins, tough to tackle in the open field.
I tell you what, right now, everything is just working for Youngstown State. And you'll see just a simple outside zone play. It's great effort here. And you'll see Billy Eastep come up 5 and miss that tackle, but get the third leg on the ground with that arm. It's a big-time run there by Ethan Wright.
1st and goal at the 8. Yale trying to catch their breath the first 8 minutes of this ball game. Flash in motion again. Run guard is tripped up. Excellent defensive play that time
That looked like Cooper Austin. That 99 right there. Watch how he bursts through there, gets off the block there by Van Keen, and possibly saves a touchdown with that layout effort.
2nd and 6. Empty backfield out of the gun. Alex McDonald, the tight end, settles in. It's a keeper. Brungard drives his way into the end zone. Bruising touchdown run from the quarterback.
Bo Brungard is just, he's a problem. Once they brought McDonald over there, now they had a hat for a hat, meaning the blocker on a blocker. And his last 3 yards is all Brungard. Look at the strength and the power to go across the goal line. I don't think there's a better dual threat guy in college football, man. At in the FCS level, when you look at the numbers and the way he plays the game.
Andrew Lastavka, the extra point. What else is new there? As he is 100 of his last 101. He's getting the opportunities because the Penguins have been rolling early here in the first round. The NCAA FCS Championship coverage continues with second round action next Saturday on ESPN Plus. For more info, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships. Little FCS action right now at the Ice Palace. Squib kick is handled and downed at the 26-yard line. An explosive first 7+ minutes of action for this Youngstown State offense, where they have already 149 yards to just 8 for Yale.
Youngstown State just came out firing on all cylinders, both possessions, offensively, and then defensively, just to create a turnover. They have been flying around. They look well coached and very fast and athletic.
And that one never gets started. And the last thing that the Bulldogs can afford right now.
False start. Offense, number 44. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Going backwards when you're already down 14-0. It just feels like, Marcus, they got to catch their breath. and get to who they are as a football team and what got them here.
I think so, too. And you have to settle down. No, let's not forget, for Tony Reno's team, this is a road game, long trip. Got to get acclimated. But I'll tell you what, I think this possession is very important. Get a couple first downs.
Pressure, hit as he throws. And a diving attempt at a catch, but it's incomplete, as Michael Wells was there as he was throwing the football, made it a tough one to give his receiver a chance.
Yeah, they're just getting a lot of pressure right now on Reno, and that ball was wobbly but very catchable for Graham Smith, but you'll see Reno taking a shot there, as you mentioned, from Michael Wells. They have to protect the quarterback a lot better.
2nd and 15. Screen play. They don't block it well enough. Tripped up and brought down. Lucius Anderson had nowhere to go with Justin Wimpy there to make the play.
That's the one thing you have to do defensively is tackle in space. I don't think that was a bad call there for the Bulldogs, just to try to get something positive going and hopefully get a missed tackle. That time they didn't get it, and you'll see there just a great open field tackle by Wimpy.
Third and 13. They need this desperately. Youngstown State deflection at the line of scrimmage. Never had a chance. And another 3 and out. Penguin defense coming at him, and Wells is there again. What a start to the game for the defensive end.
Yeah, they're dialing up some zone blitzes, meaning sending 5, playing man-to-man on the back end. They believe they can match up, and they're just creating all types of disruption and havoc.
Here's the punt. Tom Zach standing at the 35. He backs up, and that ball will take a big-time Bulldog bounce way down to the 18-yard line. So a huge flipping of the field after the big-time 63-yard punt. They'll have it next. The Penguins will. Is the head coach, the heart and soul of Youngstown State, Doug Phillips. Back into the playoffs here in his 6th year. Brungard, quick screen. And now more running after the catch and a beautiful spin move. Jaden Gilbert Boy, Yale had him buried back, and instead he is able to stay elusive and get out to the 30-yard line.
What a well-designed running back slip screen there. Give a little misdirection. Brungard sold it, and then he did the rest.
Look at the quick tempo. Throws to the other side of the field to Mike Solomon. Incomplete. That previous play, 16 yards. But you can tell Penguins, I mean, they are getting up to the line in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about tempo teams, though, Anthony. When there's an incomplete pass, then that's when they'll huddle and reset. But if they hit a play, a positive gain, close to a first down, they will automatically go tempo.
So lined up alongside Gilbert in the backfield. Flash Wilson on the near sideline. Brungard to throw. Puts that one up. It's a jump ball and it's picked off. The turnover for Brandon Webster, who played it beautifully, but there is a flag on the play in the secondary. As they battled it out for that football.
I don't think Bo got all of this throw because it was underthrown.
And they are calling pass interference.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 7, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Webster ends up committing the penalty. You take a look.
I thought that's great coverage right there. He had every right to the football. That was an underthrown ball.
No way. There's no way. And the Yale fans are right in front of us. They are displaying their displeasure in many ways that I cannot begin to describe.
As a former defensive back, man, I can just tell you from experience, I don't know what else you wanted Webster to do.
All right, here's the handoff. Another slip tackle. And a ball is on the field. The Yale fans saying ball doesn't lie, but the Penguins come away with it. Gilbert recovered the fumble.
Initially has some
Rolling on the field. The fumble by the offense, recovered by the offense. Second down.
And J.P. Schmidt looked like he came up the nickel to lay the bruising hit. 2nd and 5. Brungard all day to throw. Slips that one to Alex McDonald. And he is finally upended after another successful play. Phoenix Grant was there to make the tackle, but another first down, another 17 yards.
Well, that time, the underneath coverage dropped way down the field. Brungard held the football, gave his man McDonald a chance to run a little mesh route and get open and make something happen in space.
Officials timeout to repair a chain.
Well, you can understand why the chains would need to be repaired with Youngstown State making those poor guys move up and down the field with their early offense. McDonald gets set. Brungard, flea flicker! And he gets out of the pocket. Flag on the play, so this will be coming back. And that time, Yale, they had perfect anticipation for the trick play. And Youngstown State going to go backwards.
Yeah, that's going to be a holding call there. Probably 76, Nicholas Nielsen. It's good pressure there by the Bulldogs. Got to tip your cap to that secondary by playing with great eye discipline and not getting tricked with their eyes in the backfield.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
You'll see from the right guard, that's Shane Keenan. He did a little high-low, little block in the back there. That was really unnecessary. Defensive end was no threat to the quarterback at that point.
1st and 20 after the miscue. Brungard now steps up. Has to watch out. Pursuit is there and throws it to Flash Wilson on the sidelines, incomplete, as he finally had to get rid of the football.
That was a better job there on long yardage for the Bulldogs. Good coverage by Abu Kamara. Chasing Brungard out of the pocket. You see the big fella chasing him down. James Cave, 33, trying to get a piece. It's good coverage downfield.
Yeah, you saw Ayo Darajaye finally forcing him to throw the football. You mentioned Kamara, Defensive Player of the Year in the Ivy League. Second and 20. Run guard. Yale rushing 5. And a perfect toss and catch. Mike Solomon, the big 6'3 wideout. What a target. And he makes the grab.
Way too much time there for Brungard to throw the ball. Good completion on that dig route. Deep and across the middle.
Brungard now. He'll take off. And he is finally taken down. The tackle, Brandon Webster, who earlier on this possession thought he had a crucial turnover that was reversed.
Yeah, he's a lockdown corner. That was a good tackle in space there for Webster.
Watch Flash Wilson towards the far sideline. Brungard faked one way. Now it's a race, and what a great defensive play. Terrific tackle in the open field.
I tell you what, man, that time, that's another RPO where Brungard could have threw the football.
Nice job by J.B. Schmidt, 5'11 sophomore out of Elmhurst, Illinois. 3rd down and 5. Bulldogs need to stop. Cannot afford to go down 3 touchdowns against this Penguin team. Do they bring pressure? Yes, they do. Brungard. And that ball deflected at the line of scrimmage. So the pass rush on 3rd down created an issue.
I really like that. They brought some pressure from Abu Kamara, the nickelback right there. As you mentioned, Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year. He's a very disruptive player. I like the idea of bringing pressure to stop Brungard from running and getting an athlete on the perimeter.
Listovka will go from 30 yards off the right hash. Good snap, good hold. That kick. And he misses it. The Bulldogs get their stop. It was an adventure. They had the interception. They had it overruled. They were up against it. And the defense gets the stop after the missed field goal.
Let's not forget, this Yale defense is pretty good. 17 points a game. Rushing yards, 2nd in the country. I'm just, when you think about it, once you settle down and play football, look at Brandon Webster there, one of the leaders of this defense. Almost had a turnover. The defense took a punch, gave up a big 3rd down, and then they forced a missed field goal.
1:04 to go here in the opening quarter. FCS playoff action. Quick throw and catch. Right out of the backfield to Jackson Santiago.
That's called a gift throw, meaning it's the short hitch to the boundary. Even on run plays, the quarterback Reno is going to have an option. If there's grass, he's going to take it.
So still about a yard to go. Handoff, Pitzenberger trying to find some space and not much available.
First down run there. Looks like we're going to move the chains, and that's really what Yale wants. If they can settle down here, I wouldn't run another play before the quarter's out. Try to draw them off sides.
Yeah, they do not have to snap the football here with 15 seconds left on the game clock. Got him off sides exactly like you told him. Marcus Ray all over it.
Just have a little bit of awareness there as an offense. You fake, you get up there, give some tempo, use the clock to your advantage.
Offside. Defense number 48 in the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's on Andrew Jackson Dunaway. Little hard count action, and that's how you draw them off. End of the quarter, steal you a quick 5 yards, and then go talk about it.
That's the 4th Penguin penalty
That is the end of the first
game.
quarter. Timeout.
And 1 quarter in the books. The Penguins stormed out to a 2-touchdown lead, but not convert the field goal, so don't go anywhere. Second quarter, the Bulldogs possession. We flip fields. It's the FCS Playoffs on ESPN. Welcome back. Second quarter getting underway. 1st and 5 after the penalty. Wells almost brings him down, and a near fiasco. Potential for a turnover loomed large. And Yale fortunate to still have possession of the football.
Yeah, take the right of your screen there. You see the big tackle getting beat around the edge. That's a true freshman, true Kendrick. Young fella there's having a hard time blocking Michael Wells. And with that being said, Dante Reno's going to have a hard time throwing the football if that's the case.
On second down, play action. Got to get out of there. And he is slammed to the ground. Helmet is off. Wells again. He has been an absolute terror to start this football game.
Mama, there goes that man again. Michael Wells, and Reno just can't get comfortable. Just watch to the right of your screen. This is an RPO where he could have handed it off. You can't hold the ball. It has to come out quick. RPO means handoff or quick pass. But if you hold on to it, then things like that will happen. But right now, this defensive line, you saw big fella Vaughn getting some pressure too.
Braden Rollins as well. 3rd and 9. Yale has to find a way to protect their QB right now. They bring 5. Double clutches and batted away. Justin Whitby is there. And this has been a nightmare of a start for the Yale offense.
Well, I tell you, that was a great break on that football by Justin Whitby. I mean, Reno had to hold on to it. He threw it late. And all you young cornerbacks at home, I tell you what, you play with some tempo with your back pedal, read the quarterback, break on it. That could have been a pick 6. Great defensive stance once again for Youngstown.
Standing back at his 30. Max Tomczak signals from the 25. So we will see the high-powered Penguin offense, and they'll try to add to a 14-0 lead. Bo Brungard, one of the best players in the country. Already today, 8 of 11, and has captured the single-season passing yards mark at Youngstown State, passing Mitch Davidson on the last drive as the Bulldogs bottle up that first down carry. What have you seen from Bo so far today that stands out?
Well, I think it's his decision-making, his athleticism, and his ability just to make plays in space. This young man is a great dual-threat quarterback. You see the accuracy, 8 of 11, but he also has rushing yards, too. 55 of them, to be exact.
On second down, Brungard eyes staying down the field and just unloads it. That time to Ethan Wright. So one thing you'll notice about Brungard, his eyes stay down the field, and when he has to get rid of that football, he'll do so in a hurry.
Yeah, there's been a lot of growth in his development as a passer. Everyone talked about his athleticism, the way he runs the football, but Doug Phillips and Jurkic and those guys, they have praised his development, his ability to understand run schemes and pass protection.
All right, 3rd and 10. Bulldogs trying to get another stop here. Tomczak in motion, and he gets set. Gilbert standing next to him. Brungard looking, and incomplete to Luke Hensley. as the defense from Brandon Webster, he was locking in.
I tell you what, man, Webster's pretty good, man. 6 foot, 195 out of Cleveland, Ignatius High School. Look at the suffocating coverage. No separation, avoided contact, and got his hands on the football. What a good stop. Defense desperately needed that one.
He's an Ignatius kid. Youngstown State's DC. John Hainline was an Ignatius star. Right up there in Cleveland. That punt retrieved by Jackson Santiago and spotted
Timeout on the
25-yard line, and that's where they'll take over the football. So a couple of stops here, back-to-back for Yale. Just need some offense now. All right, Bulldogs with it on offense. Tony Reno watching on in his 13th season as head coach, and looking out. How cool is that to see his son, the quarterback? That ball tipped by Wells again, the active hands. He's been everywhere.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do as a defensive lineman. If you think you can't get to the quarterback, he's playing the run first, hands up, almost got an interception there. That's how you defend that boundary, that short throw to the boundary. If you don't think that run block is an all-the-way sail, get your hands up.
They move Wells to a different spot now. Reno on the run, sized him up and picked it off. Justin Whippy. Huge turnover and another big opportunity for the Gwins.
Well, Anthony, if you play with fire, you will get burnt. Wimpy has been sitting, breaking on that 10-yard out. And you'll see it here, just a late throw and a sprint out. This is well defended. When you see quarterbacks sprinting out, the field shortens. He jumped that outside out route. Well defended. I'm sure they saw that on film and just understood where to be. Wimpy has just been playing lights out at that corner. Young man out of Cincinnati, Princeton High School.
11 yards on the return, and your guy to watch in this game was Pitzenberger. He's touched it only 3 times so far today. We'll see how opportunistic the Penguins can be. Brungard at the 19-yard line. Play action. Time to move out of the pocket, and this time Webster forces him out of bounds. But a flag is there on the play. How about the disparity right now?
Offense, number 2, 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's on Ethan Wright, the running back. Total yards, 219 for Youngstown State, only 17 for Yale.
That was a good job of Yale disguising a blitz, making Brungard a little hesitant on what he wanted to do pre-snap. Decided to run the football. That time's running back guilty of a holding.
5 Penguin penalties already, if there was 1 negative for Doug Phillips. Tomczak in motion and gets set. Brungard, 3 targets to the right. He looks left. Flushed out with all day and gets rid of it to right on the sidelines, who turns in with a couple of yards after the catch. Brungard is just so patient back there.
Well, the defense is allowing him to get outside. I mean, you have to keep contained. You want to keep the ball inside and in front. When you have a quarterback this athletic and productive with the type of weapons he has on the outside.
Keep your eye on Flash Wilson in the slot on the left hash. Brungard will go left to Tomczak, floats it over the defender. What a throw and what a grab. Had to place it perfectly over Kamara.
You see Tomczak already with a touchdown reception in the first quarter, but this is a timing route. And that is a perfect throw to the right spot. You can tell that that's something they work on every day. You can't let these receivers get a free release. A guy like Tomczak will burn you all day.
Tomczak, all-time receptions leader in school history. He's chasing the yardage mark as well. From the 5. Rolling out to the right. Throw into the end zone. Too easy for Tomczak. A touchdown, and it's been all Youngstown State in the early going.
This Max Tomczak is a smooth route runner. I mean, you'll see here, it's sprint out pass, so most of the routes are going to be to the outside. When you're a man-to-man as a defender, you just can't see that. Joshua Tarver got beat there on that speed out cut by Tomczak, the senior, second touchdown of the day.
This has been an impressive first half for Youngstown State, a team who's certainly been here before. They've been just about unbeatable here in the Ice Palace in their playoff history.
Time out on the field.
And they have picked up where they have left off. Youngstown State, the offense is humming. Up 21-7. So the Penguins, complete domination so far today. Maybe the only negative, they had some penalties. They've had 5, and they missed field goal. Other than that, they have looked so impressive. All right, kickoff. Joshua Tarver fields it inside the end zone. And he's got a crease down the sidelines. He's finally driven out of bounds. Fortunately, it could have been way worse. So a nice little spark that Tarver has created. But so far today, the Penguin defense has been attacking.
Here you see defense wins championships. That's Dane Hodge there with the interception. Wells has been a problem. You see with the quarterback hurry and pressure. Reno has just not been able to settle his feet. You see there just beating the young tackle around the end. And when you watch this defense, they're all over the place. They run, they hit, they're turning the football over. You saw the pass break up, but the next time, Justin Wimpy picked it off, tried to make something happen to set up that last score. As you see Wells today, 2 tackles, sack and a half, and 2 pass breakups. This man's been all over the place.
All right, so a 34-yard return at least sets him up a little better. Here's Pitzenberger stutter stepping and just giving that Penguin defense too much time.
The big fella Colin Vaughn out there yapping a little bit, but when you win up front, you can do that. Number 7, Josh Pitzenberger, reigning Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year, just can't get going. He is the bell cow for this offense.
All right, this time, try to get their speed involved. And they finally get a big burst. The offensive play. Lucius Anderson off the sweep.
Ooh. I like the jet sweep call here because Youngstown State, they got caught with the linebackers blitzing inside. Good blocking on the outside. You see Jackson Santiago, 18, blocking for his teammate.
First play on the other side of midfield for Yale, and a nice carry on first down by Pitzenberger. So finally the Bulldogs get some positive momentum.
I like the inside-outside game. You go with the jet sweep, come back, a little misdirection, give it to your big fella, Josh Pitzenberger, up the middle. Now you're in second and manageable, medium. Now the defense has to decide if they're going to blitz or let you get the first down. But this is the Yale offense that we came to see.
They've had more yardage, 26 already on this drive, than they had total the entire game. Reno will look to the right. They're going for it all. Towards the end zone, it's incomplete to Santiago. They wanted a flag, didn't get it.
I like the call there. They gave a little inside run action. Run the slot fade to Santiago, trying to reward the young man for the blocking he did. But good coverage there. DJ Harris, North Canton, Jackson High School.
The Tiffin transfer. Big play here. They need to finish this drive with some points, preferably a touchdown. As the crowd gets loud on 3rd and 5, under 9 minutes to go in the half. Inside handoff, a crease, Pitzenberger bowling over defenders down to the 10-yard line. That looks a little more like the Yale Bulldog offensive attack.
I tell you what, when you start getting that jet sweep action right across, you have to honor that. Great blocking up front. It created a run lane. I just love the balance of Pitzenberger. He lowers his shoulders, falls forward. Look at his career numbers. 3rd in school history with the yards, 2nd in touchdowns, well over 3,000 yards. Just a great running back.
Add another 22 there on that play. Pitzenberger getting closer to the end zone and near a first down marker. He could get a first down without scoring.
I think Yale has figured something out. Took them spotting them 21 points to do it. They're running what's called the inside zone or the split zone, where they're using that tight end, Graham Smith, to seal the edge while the offensive linemen watch the D tackles on up to the linebackers. 2nd
and 2. Pitzenberger takes the pitch and gets into the end zone. Yale is on the board. And the 16th rushing touchdown of the year for Josh Pitzenberger, the Ivy League Offensive Player of the Year.
What a great call. They outnumbered him to the left side. Just went with a toss sweep. Look at the blocking. Anytime you have a great running back, yeah, he does what he does, but watch the blocking there. As you see Graham Smith once again sealing that edge. Big fella number 7, Josh Pitzenberger, plows into the end zone.
Noah Piper was 13 of 15 this season on field goals and 1 missed extra point all year. But what an impressive run down by the goal line.
Well, I tell you what, man, this offense got going, got some confidence. They made some big plays. I really, really like the play calling by Chris Ostrowski, the offensive coordinator. See the scoring drive there, 7 plays, 66 yards. And now they're finding a way to get back into this football game. And we'll see if their defense can find a way to get a stop. But that was a great drive there for Yale.
Well, they finally got him involved. You were asking when were they going to be able to do it, and down 21, would they give up on the run? Instead, that drive, he touched it 5 times, 41 yards, and a touchdown to get the Bulldogs on the board.
You got to feed your dogs. You got to feed them. Ground and pound there. I really, really think that offensive line came alive, and the offensive play calling with the jet sweep, and they didn't try to drop back and let it go too often, too. They kept that ball on the ground and did a fine job.
Gilbert and Wilson back to retrieve the kickoff, but it's a short one. Upback has it at the 25-yard line, and that's where Brungard will go to work. The Bulldogs defense got a couple of stops, and now trying to maybe flip momentum a little bit here, so a key drive for Doug Phillips and the Penguins.
Last time the Bulldogs got off the field with the pass breakup, making some things happen. I think they can. They should play a little more man-to-man. It's going to be tough to spy Brungard, but keep him in the pocket. You can't let him get outside the defensive end.
He started out 6 of 6, but since has gone 3 of 7. He rolls out, throws across his body, and it's caught by Tomczak. And he sprints out to midfield. Nice play on first down.
Yeah, that Tomczak, he's a slithery guy, man. He found a hole in that defense on the second level.
25 yards. Now they'll step up. Room to run. Cuts back. Yale in trouble now. Brungard, ball comes loose at the end. But the officials mark it down, and Brungard just an absolute beast in the open field.
Well, what they did is lined up 4 receivers to one side, and as a defense, it's like defending unbalanced. So you have to line up and get shifted over, and there was no one left on that right side of the Yale defense. And that was a good pre-snap read by Brungard, decided to keep it.
Another 20 yards, 6:40 and ticking here in the half. Both teams with all their timeouts. Brungard, play action. Looks to throw, left side has a man, and it's caught. Touchdown, Jaden Gilbert. Yards.
What a great call and play design. You'll see the wheel route. Watch him to the right of your screen. He's going to fake like he's lead blocking, and the corner gets ran off on the switch release, and then right there's no one to defend the wheel route. Watch him just take it on up the sideline. Brungard got plenty of protection.
Of a touchdown is under further review.
All right, they'll take a look. What a job, especially in protection up front. Giving Brungard the time he needed to see his target.
That was a well-designed play. Brungard, one of the things they told us is that he understands where to go with the football. They're taking a look to see if that knee was down. Right there, it looks like he's down a yard shy of the touchdown.
All right, one last look at it, but I agree. It looks like it'll be first down and goal at or inside the 1 yard line. You see they are spotting the ball inches away from that goal line.
After review, the runner knee was down at the half-yard line, short of the goal line. It'll be first down.
All right, so a little more work to be done. Gilbert denied the touchdown there. You feel a little guilty. You know, if you're Doug Phillips, you got to call his number again.
I think so. Young man did a fine job catching the football, ran a great route. Actually, that ball was late. Brungar didn't see him to the very, very last second. He throws that on time, he'll still be running.
All right, they will go from the pistol, and now they'll run up. And it's a keeper, moving the pile into the end zone. Another Youngstown State touchdown. This offense, as advertised, we said in the open, one of the best in the country. You're seeing exactly why.
Good old tush push. Up front, these guys have done a fine job. Lee, Perkins, King, Safura, Keenan. Got to give the big fellas up front a ton of credit.
That drive, another quick strike, 4 plays, 75 yards. Minute and 28. They had plays of 23, 20, 31, and then the last one had to be too easy. They got the push and another score, 28-7. Bulldogs had gotten their back-to-back stops. But here's the thing. To match the fireworks of this Penguin offense, you got to match them and score on every possession you have to try to make up that ground. Now, if there's one thing that the Penguins got to watch for, they had the big lead a week ago up in northern Iowa. It was 28-3 at the half, and then it all fell apart.
That's why it's a 4-quarter ball game. You can't give up. You have to keep scratching and clawing and fighting. This Youngstown State defense cannot let up here. You got a 3-score lead. Offense is on fire right now. Got a lot of football left to be played.
Josh Wilkins handling the kickoff duties. He made a big tackle on the last kickoff. It's Joshua Tarver, full head of steam. Cuts to the outside. Another nice return to the 32-yard line. So it's a tough week to manage not only your playoff preparation, but also the holidays as well. And the Penguins here locally as a team, you know, enjoying the holidays and being able to feast out a little bit.
Eating good in the neighborhood, I see. Coach Phillips feeding the players. Some guys went home. Some guys stayed. It's nothing like celebrating Thanksgiving with your teammates.
All right, the handoff to Wilhelm Dahl, his first touch of the afternoon. And the tackle there, DJ Harris, after a decent game.
That's one way to calm things down, is just run the football, settle down, get a positive play on offense, take a shot on second down and figure it out.
2nd and 5. Quick throw, short of the first down marker. Nice job by DJ Harris again.
That's that quick pre-snap read throw to the short side of the field. You'll see. It's a good tackle right there. Good break on the football. DJ Harris, 5'11", 185, very speedy coverage guy. 2 interceptions on the season.
On first down, there's another carry by Dahl. Wrapped up right near the line. Right now, Josh Pitzenberger is on the sidelines after he had that impressive drive that culminated with a touchdown.
Well, right now, we're entering what's called the middle 8, the last 4 of the second quarter, and you get into the first 4 of the third. Remember, Yale gets the ball back to start the third.
2nd and 8, Reno converts one out towards midfield. Immediate tackle, though, right when he caught the football. And Harris again, who's been everywhere. And here comes Pitzenberger on 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I think Pitzenberger just wanted to take a blow there. He was the workhorse on that last drive.
Under 4. And now they got 5 on the play clock. Counting down. Got to get it off. Just does. Here comes the throw. Waiting for it and caught. Big play. Jackson Santiago moving the sticks ahead.
I really like how they called that from the sideline. They got a chance to see what the defensive set was going to be. You saw Pitzenberger get involved in that pass protection. Tell them the linemen, they picked it up, ran an inside slant. Great conversion.
Right there, one-on-one with Wimpy, who is in tight coverage. But that was a crucial conversion for a Bulldog team that feels like they got to score on all these drives now. Here's the hitch, the throw down the sideline, Santiago. But flags are on the play. And he was close to the sidelines before he made the grab.
I tell you what I liked on that double move. That was a hitch and go. Yale is starting to figure some things out. That right there was a hitch and go, my friend. What's called a double move from DJ Harris.
We'll see if the 24-yard catch stands. And it will.
Holding. Defense, number 39. The penalty decline. Result of the play is a first down.
Dane Hodge, another penalty. That's 6 now this afternoon.
Well, you'll see the double move there on the outside. He was able to come off, make that catch. I like the ball placement there by Reno, but you see the holding right there. That's number 11. Just Dathan Hickey. Just undressing the slot receiver.
Pitzenberger, right up the middle. Looking a little more like it did last week in that epic rivalry matchup with Harvard, where he had 38 carries for $143 and 3 touchdowns.
I like his patience there, getting his shoulder squares to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 2, Reno near side. Nice sure-handed catch by Santiago, who's been tough to stop these last few drives.
Little pre-snap read again. That is an automatic play in the offensive play call. It's really tough for defensive backs. You start backpedaling, you're going to give up a free 5 yards every time.
Got 4 yards, another first down. 1st and goal at the 8. Approaching that 2-minute timeout. So a little bit of a breather here.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
So, big set of downs coming up. It'll be 1st and goal. The Bulldogs need a touchdown. FCS championship coverage on ESPN. Yale knocking on the door, but that time, Youngstown State, the defense was ready.
A good stop there by the Penguins defense. That field gets a little shorter down here. I think this is Pittsburgher territory, and you have to be mindful of the clock. You don't want to give Youngstown State a chance to get the ball back and a scoring opportunity. Time management is a premium right now.
10th play of the drive. Reno needs to load. Ball is loose. It's picked up. Penguins have it on the run. Down to the 40 and finally tackled. Brandon Chambers Jr. came up with a loose piggy.
Ruling on the field. This is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Youngstown State.
Big play, flipping the field. Karsten Marshall forced it.
The linebacker there, just poor blocking. And there he goes again. Dane Hodge with the scoop. Second turnover for that young man today with the interception. Too many red shirts in the backfield there. You just can't leave your quarterback unprotected. That time Reno gets it knocked out by Marshall, and what a play for the Penguins.
Well, blown opportunity there, and now Youngstown State threatening again, and you know they will not take the foot off the gas. Minute and 12, have all their timeouts. That was a 44-yard return by Hodge. Run guard taking his time, going for it again. Comebacker is out of bounds, targeted towards Mike Solomon.
That's good coverage, though, there by J.P. Schmidt.
All right, minute 7 left in the half, and we have a loaded show for you, talking about these two QBs today. Well heralded coming in. The Ivy League Ancient Eight. How did we get here? Now with the playoffs, and of course, all of your first half highlights. There have been plenty. Tom Zach in motion. Run guard, quick screen, sets it up. Flash Wilson, cut it up midfield. Short, though, of that first down marker, setting up a third down opportunity. Late flag as players on both ends were getting into it. Solomon as well as Webster we're going back and forth.
Well, I don't think either team can afford to give up any yards.
After play is over, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 11. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 7. Those penalties will offset the down counts. Third down, that is number 11 and number 7. First unsportsmanlike conduct fouls for the game.
All right, they'll spot you one each. So in the end, no damage done, but third down and 3. 50 seconds to go. Yale not using their timeouts. Wilson in the slot. Yale showing pressure. Do they back off? No, here they come. Run guard. Hot read. Wilson over the middle. Missed tackle. And down inside the 15-yard line. The Penguins
timeout.
Will use a timeout.
Youngstown State. That is their first charge timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
One of the things you got to like about Bo Brungard is his ability to make all the checks. He saw pressure was coming, held onto it, audible the play, changed the route, and found Flash Wilson in space. Just a heads-up, veteran move by a great quarterback.
So Brungard now has completed 6 of his last 7. Now breaking the huddle. So a lot of history, a lot of tradition right here at Stambaugh Stadium, the Ice Palace. That's Aaron McNair, and this was a first-round matchup with Youngstown State. You know, Bo Brungard's father, Hall of Famer from Youngstown State. He's played on some of the biggest games here, a couple of championships back-to-back as well. And Bo grew up watching games in this stadium and now steps up, complete to Wilson. He's got some space. Even tried to run over a few Bulldogs. And he is tackled at the 6.
Timeout.
The clock is stopped.
Youngstown State. That is their second charge timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Brungard's father, part of 2 national championship teams, and played in this very game that we just showed you, and was terrific under, of course, head coach Jim Tressel, who was here this week talking to the football team. Even popped into the radio show.
I tell you what, man, this Jim Tressel, boy, I tell you, he's just did a fine job. I remember watching those games when I was in high school, and I tell you right now, Aaron McNair, look at those numbers. 82 passes. I mean, is that not a record? I mean, how do you even have 82 plays in a game?
It's
in that matchup. I remember that. That was my freshman year at Michigan, man. That was a big game. We lost. Michigan lost to the Buckeyes that time. So
you heard it here. Michigan man praising Jim Tressel.
You got to give credit, man.
Brungard, he'll look. The C's open up, and he waltzes into the end zone for another touchdown. Count them, 5 on the day already for this Youngstown State offense.
They do a great job just outnumbering people at the point of attack. 4 receivers to the left. You get the lead blocker there. Quarterback counter, split zone. Just goes in untouched. And Bo does a fine job of allowing his blocks to time up. Yale. Youngstown offense is on fire.
Well, we talked to the Yale coaches this week, and they talked about how formidable, how explosive, how well put together this offense is for Youngstown State. But until you see it in person, it's tough to really wrap your arms around what these guys can do in another quick strike. Last drive was a minute and a half. This one, 56 seconds.
Yeah, it started with the turnover there. Young fella Dane Hodge with the scoop to flip the field. And anytime you put the ball in 12's hands, something good can happen. And this offense is just very dynamic with all types of weapons. They spread you out. When they spread you out like that, quarterback run is hard to stop because they have a guy for a guy in the box. Offensive line's playing and drawing and blocking it the way you draw it up.
Oh, what a game changer that turnover was, as they were knocking on the door to cut it to a 2-possession game. And instead, big-time pass rush. Ball is loose, huge return, and in the blink of an eye, it's 35-7. Another squibber, this one handled. Tarver has had some nice returns, and again, some good field position for this Bulldog offense.
Got 11 seconds left here. You have an opportunity to try to get a few yards, but I think this is a situation. They have 3 timeouts. You won't be able to use all of them.
I was a little surprised they weren't using them on the last possession defensively, knowing that you're probably going to get the football back. Yeah. Either way, you're hoping.
It's a good point.
All right, we'll see if they don't just turn it all around and hand it off. That's what they did. Pitzenberger brought down, and that should do it here in the first half. YSU, 35
that
points.
That is the end of the first half.
And
timeout.
21 off 3 takeaways. They are in total control. What a showcase for the Penguins on both sides of the ball. We've got your halftime show coming up from the Ice Palace. FCS Championships right here on ESPN. Halftime here in Youngstown. Round one, it's been all Youngstown State. Impressive 35-7. First half, taking advantage of some turnovers. Anthony Lima, Marcus Ray. We talked a lot about quarterbacks to start this one, and we've seen good things from both, but boy, Max Brungard has just been unstoppable.
I mean, he is a guy that can do it by land, by air. Look at the accuracy, 22 passes, 259 yards. And the thing is, Reno hasn't had a chance to set his feet. Too much pressure by this Penguins defense. But Brungard, 82 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he is doing it all. They're dialing things up. But Reno's going to have to find a way to do it in the air if they're going to get back in this football game.
And he did find a little bit of rhythm there in the second quarter. We'll see if any of it carries over into the second half. They'll need it in a big way. We've got so much more at the half, including scores and highlights and a breakdown of how the Ivy League found themselves in the playoffs. Coming up next. Welcome back. It's halftime here in Youngstown. Now, college football roots run deep, beginning with the early influence of the Ivy League. Over time, the game grew into a national tradition that shaped rivalries and American culture. Let's take a quick look back at how it all began.
Pasadena, New Year's Day 1934. Stanford is heavily favored to win the Rose Bowl. But the Lions of Columbia run a trick play, KF-79, and it produces the game's only score. It was the 4th appearance and 2nd victory in the Rose Bowl for a team from the Ivy League. That was almost 92 years ago. Since then, no Ivy League team has played in a bowl game, any bowl game, or any postseason game, which is remarkable because the institutions that have given us so many of America's leaders gave us football too. The sport was popularized and for decades dominated by the so-called Ancient Eight. In the beginning, in the second half of the 19th century, football was essentially created by Ivy League players and coaches. Walter Camp, Pop Warner, Amos Alonzo Stagg, John Heisman. They could all be on college football's Mount Rushmore. Their names still familiar, and they were all Ivy Leaguers. From the 1870s up through the 1930s, the Ivy League racked up dozens of national titles. But then, after World War II, the Ivy schools came together and decided to de-emphasize sports, especially football, because they didn't like what they saw as the game's growing importance. Just like that, the Ivies simply withdrew from the national stage in football, even as they allowed their teams in every other sport to compete for championships. And they've won plenty of them.
Cornell will bring a championship home to Ithaca.
Now, the Ivy League is back in the football championship picture. This year, for the first time, the league will send its champion to the FCS Playoffs, accepting an automatic bid. Finally, the Ivies get a chance to win it all, again.
It's caught, touchdown!
Surely, Walter Camp and Pop Warner, Stagg and Heisman, and so many others would say, "Hear, hear, it's about time. After all, we built this game."
An explosive first half at Stambaugh Stadium. Youngstown State 35-7 here in the first round, welcoming Yale into the postseason for the first time in their storied program history. Let's start showing some of the fireworks today, as there were plenty.
Bo Brungard comes out on that first drive. He finds his guy, Max Tomczak. Then after the turnover, they come right back and they reward the QB, Brungard. Let's look at the strength, the power. They come back down. They just kept moving the ball. When the ball's in his hands, good things happen. Finds Tomczak once again on the sprint out. But the lone score for Yale came after a fine drive. They come in, this young man here, one of the best running backs in the country, Josh Hitzenberger. He plows it in, and strangely enough, Youngstown State gets back down the field, use the tush push. and they just completely dominated. I think those 2 turnovers helped.
And look at that, 358 yards of total offense. In fact, 24 of the 38 plays for the Penguins were on the opposing side of the football field. So it's been that kind of a day. Yale couldn't afford to squander any opportunities, but the turnovers, 3 of them, certainly did them in.
Yeah, points off turnovers, 3 touchdowns. And if anything, you have to hold them to a field goal after you play on a short field like that. But a lot of football left. Yale's going to have to try to chomp away at this lead slowly but surely.
All right, Bulldogs, we'll get it to start out the second half, and we'll have complete coverage and all the second half coming your way next. FCS Championships right here on ESPN. I hope you have your calendars ready as the FCS Championships right here on ESPN all the way throughout. Right now, first round. And winner of this game is heading to Bozeman, Montana. But you see how busy things can be for these teams all the way out through the new year, where a champion will be decided January 5th. This year in Nashville, Tennessee. Here's a look at the brackets, and especially you in the Ivies for the very first time. You see it on the basketball side, but now for the football side, as the board of directors, the Ivy Leagues, have finally decided it was time to open up some of the opportunities. First round, they try to regionalize things, and then we are off and running with all first and second round games, of course, on ESPN+. Obviously, a big part of the model for the big boys to finally change their ways and go into a playoff format. And, boy, concentrated championship prowess up in the Dakotas, as they have controlled this thing now for the last 4 years and have their hopes of doing it again.
I tell you what, they play some good football up that way. North Dakota State, physical. A lot of guys come out of there, had success in the NFL. South Dakota State, that 2-year run they had, they were just explosive offensively, man. And there's no better format, I don't think, than 24 teams, especially without the conference championship. Because if anything were to change, you eliminate the conference championships, you go to this format, give everybody a shot, but a lot more teams there too. But I tell you what, man, these guys can match up with a lot of teams in the FBS too. I promise you that.
No doubt. So that sets us up for the top 4 seeds. You see Montana there, number 3 overall. Montana State, number 2, where we already told you the winner of this game will be heading. And then North Dakota State, 10 FCS championships, most all time. We were talking about Youngstown State and their 4, and they've been to 6 championship games altogether. So it's like, welcome to the party, to the Ivy Leagues. You get to be a part of this going forward. Very cool.
Yeah, you see North Dakota State defeated Montana State in the championship last year. Everyone has those 2 teams circled as the top 2, but I'll tell you what, they both know it's a journey. There's no gimme games. You got to show up, you got to play. Just like March Madness, anything can happen. And I'll tell you what, Ivy League represented well by this Yale team, but
Harvard, of course, getting in as well. So here's a look at the bracket. And right now, Youngstown State with their eyes set. I snuck a peek at some of those Youngstown State fans. I think they were looking at planes, trains, and automobiles to get to Montana State.
Well, I'll tell you what.
There's still a lot of football left.
That's right. But those are very beautiful scenic views. You talking about Montana State, Montana, the Dakotas.
Well, Doug Phillips wondering if that'll be his next stop if things continue on as they have gone so far today. He's looking good. So on the Yale side of things, they did get a couple of stops, but then those costly turnovers, how do they shore things up and give themselves a shot here? Because it happened a week ago. Youngstown State struggled in the second half of their game, Northern Iowa.
Well, they have to return the favor. That means they have to find some explosives on offense. I think they can take a few more shots. Maybe max protect to give Reno a little more time. Don't completely abandon the run game. More importantly, they have to score touchdowns in the red zone, and they need to create turnovers the way Youngstown State created 3 turnovers and got 21 points off of those. So that's the only way to get back in the game.
Well, we are moments away from kicking things off here in the second half. Fans returning to their seats. Saw a few of them sneak into view at another pretty big game in the college football landscape going on as we speak.
That young man right there, Josh Pitzenberger, scored the lone touchdown. He got hot for a second there. He only has 1 run over 10 yards. 4 of them for 2, 1 for -1, and 3 for 5+ yards. They need to get their big fella going.
So Tarver has had some nice returns, and they're going to want some good field position. We'll see if that's another short kick. Fair caught at the 22. They did not want to mess around with Joshua Tarver, who has been sensational so far this afternoon, and he has had plenty of opportunities with all those scores for Youngstown State. So here we go, second half, 30 minutes left in this win or go home first round matchup. And Dante Reno has took all the snaps except 1, and boy, they got to watch for Michael Wells there. The pass rusher has been everywhere.
They got to find a way to cut this lead down to 2 scores by the end of this quarter.
Inside handoff. Gained about 3 or 4 there on first down. There's a look at Michael Wells, the 6'3", 250 junior out of Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Has 3 quarterback hits today, 2 breakups, 1.5 sacks, and 3 total tackles. He has been incredible. Meanwhile, Reno, coach's son, well heralded coming out of high school, and Pitzenberger plowing over Penguin defenders. So trying to stick with the run.
Well, that's one way to get back into the ball game, is you don't have to drop back and just start airing things out. 30 minutes of football here. Run the football, manage the clock, But they need to score. That's just a great play there. Watch how he squares up and lowers the boom on Dane Hodge there. Got to get your pad level down there, young fella.
12 yards on the carry. And that time, Dahl was wrapped up, and the Penguins ready for him on first down, loading up the box. Graydon Rollins was the first one on the scene.
Yeah, that time Youngstown State got very aggressive with that first down carry there. They said enough is enough. They're trying to get the Bulldogs behind the sticks, so they had to try to force them to throw the football.
So the loss on first down. Drop 3. Reno. Ooh, dangerous throw that time as Makai Shaid had his eyes all over that football.
Very dangerous throw. Youngstown State knew that was going to be a quick pass. The way the receivers were kind of condensed closer to the line of scrimmage. Now you're looking at a screen or something that got to get you at least 8 to 9 yards.
3rd and 13. Pitsenberger split out on the near sidelines. Here they come. Penguins rush. Nice throw and catch. They need a little more after the catch, and they get it. Jackson Santiago battling his way for a first down, much needed.
Yeah, I like the call there. When you saw Pitsenberger empty out the backfield, it created a one-on-one to the backside, and all you're expecting is a missed tackle and a little bit of yards after the catch.
Hickey was not able to corral him, so keeps the drive alive. Into Penguin territory. Another quick throw. Lucius Anderson breaks a tackle, and he's finally brought down. Saeed again was there.
What you're seeing now is the offense just trying to get the ball in space, finding that one mismatch, because there was 3 defenders versus 2 guys on offense, and when you get a missed tackle, it leads to yards after.
Pickup of 6. There's the handoff. Broken tackle, and finally dragged down by his feet, but another first down, and they've got the running game finally clicking as Dane Hodge was finally able to stop the run.
Well, you're going to see here a nice little counter play, and he finds a seam in between the defensive tackles. You see why this young man's an All-American, All-Offensive Player of the Year in the Ivy League. Special kind of guy when he touches that football.
Reno got to get rid of it and short arm that one as he was under pressure. Connor Johansson bursting through.
A lot of pressure there. He had a man open. Saw Wilhelm Dahl trying to slip out of the backfield. Short arm that throw. A lot of pressure in his face.
So 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Reno fakes the handoff. Inside, Youngstown State's Justin Whippy broke on it. Does he have the INT? They are pleading for it. Side judge comes in and says, no, that ball hit the ground.
I agree, but more importantly, that was a great pass breakup. It's tough to jump inside those slant routes.
It's an incomplete pass, 3rd down.
I like the call there. Little RPO action. Wimpy was playing inside leverage. Good call by the officials. I think Wimpy needs to take some acting classes. He didn't get up very conventionally like he had. He should have supposed to celebrate, shake his moneymaker, and hold the ball up and let everybody know that was a turnover.
So 3rd and 10. Here comes the rush, and they get to him. Drop. Michael Wells, among others. Johansson as well.
You see Dante Reno getting a little bit gun shy here. This is a quick pass. A three-step drop, the ball has to come out. There was so much pressure up front. Joseph Nash, the right guard, 57. That time he got beat inside. A little too much pressure. He didn't get a chance to set his feet.
So Pitzenberger is back there. Reno throwing it. Lucius Anderson. The 4th down conversion. He's down to the 5. I think they caught everybody by surprise.
Yeah, that time, Dathan Hickey, he falls down here. They got caught. They picked up the blitz this time. They ran a little switch release there, and those guys got tangled up downfield. And that's what that switch release just means, when the outside guy goes inside and vice versa. You get a little rub off downfield, and guys are wide open.
So 32 yards. And now the Bulldogs and Pitzenberger angling forward. They're on 1st down. Well, we know they absolutely needed a touchdown on this drive to have any sort of a chance. So you pick up a huge 4th down with the crowd going nuts. Now they got to finish the drive.
See Tony Reno, he likes this drive here. Made a gutsy call on 4th down. He knows it's win or go home.
From the 4, Reno drifting into the end zone. Touchdown, Spencer Mermans.
Talking to Youngstown State's defensive staff, they said that this is the best running back and tight end room they have seen all season. Spencer Mermans, one of those great tight ends, and we'll show you the replay. The way they drew that play up was amazing.
And Youngstown State played Michigan State this year. So that's saying something about the units. Extra point is
Time
good.
out on the field.
Let's take a look at this misdirection, Anthony. You get the little motion, then you get the block, eyes in the backfield, and a great pass from Reno to Spencer Mermans to get on the board.
Yale doing their best to hang in here in the second half. Dropping it to a 3-possession game after their 75-yard drive. Here is the kickoff. Fair caught, going backwards inside the 20. So 13 plays, 75 yards. And mix it up a little bit. 7 passes, 6 runs on that touchdown drive.
And a big 4th down conversion. Gutsy call. They looked a lot more aggressive offensively. Things didn't look too hot there. They got conservative for a second. Youngstown State getting in that backfield, creating some errant throws. getting a sack, but I'll tell you what, they fought back and made a play. And we'll see what they come up with on defense. They have to stop this man right here. Got to get a 3 and out, get the ball out of his hands.
Handoff, and it breaking free. Jaden Gilbert down the sidelines. Catches a block and finally run out of bounds. Billy Estep saving the touchdown.
Simple inside zone play there with so many eyes on Brungard. They forgot about Gilbert. Great blocking up front, and this young man gets down that sideline. Good touchdown saving tackle by Estep.
How about 60 yards? We have talked about the explosive plays for the Penguins today, and another one right there just like that. And they get movement. And the 15, could it be a free play? Right to Tomczak, and he's finally taken out of bounds.
See what they call here. Remember, when Youngstown State hits an explosive play, they go immediate tempo.
Offside. Defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
They'll accept that penalty.
That's what tempo will do. Let's get that defense on their heels. Still have to watch the ball there. Youngstown State stays on the attack.
Right now, ball on the 10-yard line. He's got two backs next to him. Sprints out to the right. They scored a touchdown on a similar play earlier. This time, Bulldogs contained.
Yeah, all the receivers were downfield blocking, so Brungard didn't have anyone to throw the ball to. Not sure if that was some type of run-pass read. It's good defense by this Bulldogs. They have to tighten up. They have to, at minimum, force a field goal.
Ball on the 7-yard line. Again, directly right. This time throws, opens wide open in the end zone. Tomczak lost track again of the all-time leading receiver for the Penguins.
This is what you call situational football. The good teams, they understand how to set it up. This is a great goal line play. We have a running quarterback. I told you, Max Tomczak finds a way to slither through defenses, find grass, and get open. All eyes were in the backfield on Bo Brungard because he runs the football, but you have to have something off of that to keep the defense honest.
Extra point by Lastopka is good.
Timeout on the field.
And 42-14, the Penguins have an answer every single time. What a game, what a season, what a career for Max Tomczak. The lineage, people around these parts certainly know that name. His uncle, Mike, is a coordinator here, make that an advisor for Coach Phillips, is around the program day in and day out. As there's the return by Tarver. In fact, had 185 games, 173 starts in the NFL, Mike Tomczak. Many for the Steelers, drafted by the Bears. He even had a year with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, had a very celebrated career. Look at young Max, though. 3 touchdowns, 5 receptions, 77 yards. He's been a problem down in that goal line area. If there's one guy you need to locate if you're on defense, it's number 4.
Well, they lost track of him there, but I'll tell you who has not lost track of him. Some of the NFL scouts, as Coach Phillips said this week, that some teams have certainly been in the building checking out Max Tomczak. Reno had some time to throw for once, but couldn't do anything with it as those receivers were all in a straitjacket.
That was good coverage downfield there by the Penguins. And this time he had time to throw the football.
But in talking about Max Tomczak, already the all-time receptions at the school. 46 straight games now with a catch. Just need a few more yards to catch Jim Ferrani, class of 79. This time, speedster Lucius Anderson in the open field, and he takes it past the 50-yard line.
Once again, they come back to that jet sweep action, perimeter run. They showed counter opposite, though, with the running back. That's a great play call. Those linebackers took off with the pulling guard and the running back. They were one guy short on the edge. It's another big play.
Wait, got to keep getting the football to Lucius Anderson. The 6'2 freshman, Saratoga Springs, just north of Albany, Christian Brothers Academy. He's been one of those guys that has caused some issues for the Penguins.
Yeah, and they're using him in a way just to get him in space. He's blocked well on the perimeter, too. But when you have an offense that can run the ball downhill, you always need a guy that can get on that perimeter for you.
Tony Reno has been coaching here since 2012. 11 players sent to the NFL from this school. Quick throw tipped. And that one was in jeopardy of another turnover. Parker Jacobs on the rush.
And you'll see it's just a quick pass. When you can't get to the quarterback, you see Mike Wells getting in there too. Those guys,
another one.
If they can't get to the quarterback, they're going to stop and jump.
See, 4 deflections already in this game. 3rd and 7.
4 down territory.
Yeah, last possession converted on 4th and 14 was a huge play. This time they need 7. Reno looking down the middle. Beautifully thrown. And he was able to squeeze that one into Santiago, who's been his top target all game long.
That's a great read there, man, by Reno. Under duress a little bit. Found his man. Those inward breaking routes have been some of his better throws.
15 yards on the play. Pitzenberger, as they go back to the run, trying to carry some tacklers.
See Yale trying to get into a little bit of tempo of their own. They're up against the clock. You just can't trade blows. If they get a score here today.
Timeout on the field for a defensive player injury.
Actually, looks like it is a Bulldog that is down right now from that offensive line. Is that the right tackle?
See guys getting rolled up in the.
Timeout on the field.
So the trainers are out, and we will get the update when we return. But the Bulldogs on the move. So Cameron Charin, the 6'3" senior out of Wellesley, Massachusetts, his teammates helping him up off the field. Meanwhile, drive continues, 7th play, and this time, Pitzenberger nowhere to go. Terrific job of stringing things out defensively for the Penguins.
See big Parker, Jacobs, Hickey getting a piece of him there. You don't want Pitzenberger running east and west. You want to get him going north and south.
Yale, 5 of 8 on 3rd down. They've also converted a couple 4th downs in this game to try to stay alive. Reno looking for Lucius, and all sorts of hand fighting. Incomplete, but a lot of finger pointing afterwards. And now some words.
Lucius Anderson been a guy for this Yale offense. You'll see that seam route out of the slot position. Watch the left hand there. Tangle, that's the right hand.
Yeah, I saw jersey
Pass
grab.
interference on the defense. Number 6. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
So, Makai Shaid gets the penalty, keeps the drive alive. That's number 6 on the Gwins so far today.
That slot fade is a very popular route. It's a tough matchup, a lot of grass either way.
Pitzenberger looking for room. So under the 5-minute mark now in the 3rd quarter. Again, Bulldogs just about have to score every time they touch the football, and they need touchdowns.
And they need to get the ball back. But they got to score faster than this, though. It's tough against this Youngstown State defense.
Protection has certainly been an issue. Reno, that time located his top target today, Santiago. Corrals it in. DJ Harris was right there to make the tackle. Boy, Santiago at 6'3", Lucius Anderson at 6'2". One's a sophomore, one's a freshman. You're going to be doing a lot of that here for the Yale Bulldogs going forward.
Some really good size receivers who are athletic and got great soft hands too.
Need another 3rd down conversion. Handoff. Following his lead, blocker, knocking defenders down. Pitzenberger all the way down to the 1-yard line.
You can just tell that Pitzenberger lives in the weight room. Just watch him. I like the call. Takes the outside handoff. You'll see a little bang-bang play there. Wimpy. He didn't like too much of that contact. You could just tell he lives in the weight room, has that lower body strength, trucking people left and right.
So all eyes will be on number 7. Line gets set. Reno hands it off. Pitzenberger takes the contact and bursts into the end zone of Bulldogs with another 6 on the board.
Makes you kind of wonder. They would have came out running the ball a little more with this guy, but just look at that zone blocking. Good cut back there. It's hard to defend, especially when the quarterback can pull it, but this young man's had a storied, record-breaking career for the Yale Bulldogs.
All right, they are lining up for 2. So instead of making it a 21-point game, they'll try to close the gap. Throwing across his body into the end zone. Contact. There's the flag. And now a little bit of extracurricular as Brady Wagner and Dane Hodge jawing back and forth. A little bit of contact as well.
Definitely should be pass interference. That was a great throw, too, by Reno. A little risky, though.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 3. That penalty declined. Pass interference, defense number 1. Ball be placed half the distance from the goal, replay to try.
So you'll see there Wells coming off, hitting Reno well after the play, and then you see the interference there in the back of the end zone by DJ Harris. Brady Swagner, the way he was walking around talking to people.
And then it's universal. Once you make contact, arms got to go up in the air. All right. Now, after all was said and done, it's only half the distance after those penalties. So they only gained minimal in terms of inches. And the quick sprint out. There's your 2-point conversion. Throw was on the money, and Graham Smith puts 2 more on the board for the Bulldogs.
And that's one way to try to chip away at the lead. Now you have to get a stop. I think it's a little too early, the onside kick, but it's a good drive there for Yale. Good execution on the 2-point plays. And you'll see here he just goes in motion. This little man-to-man, he runs the rub route. And Hickey just had to work over top of everybody else. Just can't get there.
So they get 8 on the drive, and they're going to need more of that. Lead down to 20 as they were able to get Bitzenberger involved a little more at 60 yards in the first half on 11 carries. Already here in the second half, 9 carries for 42 yards. That puts them over 100. Had 143 last week against their bitter rivals in the Ancient Eight, Harvard. That was the 141st version of that game, by the way, if you're scoring at home. Second longest continuous rivalry in the sport. Do you know number 1?
That's a great question. I'm going to go Army-Navy.
We don't have a sponsor or anything, so we don't have to let people wait. Anyway, it's still in the Ivy. It's Yale and Princeton.
Oh, wow.
So a little bit of Yale history. You want to talk storied program. They had 2 of the first 3 Heisman Trophy winners, and it was fun talking to Doug Phillips about Yale. He said, yeah, it's their 152nd team that they've ever had. So he was beefing up on the history, and 27 national championships, top 10 in all-time wins. Walter Camp, father of American football, and your first ever playoffs. We've come a long way. New policy taking effect this year. Meanwhile, ball dumped out of the backfield. And that ball is on the ground. Fumble. Is that the turnover the Bulldogs needed? Yes, it is. Wow.
Ruling on the field. Fumbled by the offense. Recovered by the defense. First down, Yale.
I think that little segment there showing that Yale history got them fired up defensively. You see the little play action, quarterback keep, and then you'll to flash Wilson. He runs that little slip route, and he tried to get out of town with it, but hold on a second, my friend. It's a good play. But you'll see the ball getting jarred out right there. Is that your guy, Numi?
Yes, it is. Ayo Durojaye. Huge play. We were told you better learn how to say his name. We'd be saying it a lot this afternoon. And he came up with the biggest play so far of the day for the Bulldog defense. Reno going up top into the end zone. It's nearly caught. Santiago had a touchdown, but the ball went off his fingertips.
I really, really like the call. That's what you do when your back's to the wall in a sudden change situation. The defense goes out there. Look at this ball placement. How did he not come down with that right in his arms, too? Oh, man, it's just been one of those type of days. What a ball by Reno. Good effort there by the young receiver.
What an opportunity. Now 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground this time. And Wilhelm Dahl has to leap forward for some positive yardage.
Well, you do know you have 4 downs to try to make this conversion here. Just a missed opportunity on that first down. I mean, you make that kind of play, then you're exactly where I said you need to be, down 2 scores going into the final period.
Imagine 4-down territory, 3rd and 9. Dahl is still out there. So no Pitzenberger on a crucial 3rd and 9. Gwynn's rushing 5. Over the middle, Santiago holds on this time around. Man, some impressive 3rd and 4th down conversions here in the second half.
Yeah, and you'll see Youngstown State comes with 6 and 5-man pressure, gets picked up. And when there's no help in the middle, it's a great call there by the Bulldogs.
Handoff to Dahl. Breaks some tackles inside the 17. Tackle by Graydon Rollins. And now Pitzenberger subbing back onto the field. Minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs making things spicy here in the Ice Palace.
I'll tell you what, spicy and dicey, because right now they don't have anything to lose. They have 15 and some change left in this season, and then they're trying to go out with a bang.
Handoff, Pitzenberger. Sidestepping his blocker, falling forward down to the 13-yard line. Will they run another play, 30 and ticking?
I think you need to go ahead. Every second matters here. This isn't like we saw earlier in the game, in between quarters. They need to get a play here.
Looking over to the sidelines. Dante Reno checking in with Pops. 10 seconds. Does get it off. Another handoff. Wrapped up, brought down at the 10-yard line. Last play of the third quarter.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter.
So,
timeout.
15 minutes remaining. Win or go home. First round, FCS. Penguins up 20, but the Bulldogs driving. We'll see you for a final 15 minutes. Now up to 109 yards. Pitzenberger did a lot of damage there in the third quarter. And we'll see if he can do some more in the fourth. Quick sweep play. There he is. Lucius Anderson. A burst and a score. The Bulldogs hanging on, inching closer.
Down 14. They went for 2 last time. I think they're going to kick this one. That jet sweep has been a big-time explosive play for them all afternoon. And this young man, Lucius Anderson, he has been cutting loose on the perimeter.
Boy, ran right by Hodge, who is engaged with a blocker. And look at the scoreboard now. Down 13, a little more doable. Coming back from down 35-7. And now the Penguins need an answer. Things tightening up here at Stambaugh Stadium. Don't forget all the FCS action. First and second round. There's a bobble on the return. Right here on ESPN, as this is just the beginning of the journey for both of these teams. And it looked like the Penguins were on the verge of making it look easy. It was 35-7 at one point, but if you're just joining us now, Yale second half, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. So 22 points to get them right back into the ballgame.
I think this is a big possession for Youngstown State here. They can't take their foot off the gas.
Only 4 plays here in the second half, as Ethan Wright up the middle. The play number 5 didn't go so well. And now you're starting to sense it. The Yale sideline and their fans. There is some juice over here.
Last time they gave up a big run to Jaden Gilbert out of that same formation. That time they were able to shut it down. This is what Youngstown State wants to do. Spread you out, make you defend the grass, and then see if Brungard can find a run lane.
Second and 8. Launching one down the field. And it is off the hands of the receiver, Max Tomczak. Incomplete.
That's great defense by Abu Kamara, Defensive Player of the Year in the Ivy League. This young man has 2 pick sixes on the year, 6 tackles for losses. That'll be his 9th pass breakup. I think Brungard didn't put enough on it. You have to lead that post route, because I think that might have been a big game for Hensley otherwise.
Pretty big 3rd and 8 here. Sideline is bouncing up and down over here with the Bulldogs. All day to throw, though. Brungard rolling right and catches a block, but there is a flag. So he has the first down, but early indications are this one could be going against the Penguins.
That was good defense there by Yale, and they actually had a quarterback spy.
Holding. Offense, number 2. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
Ethan Wright tried to help spring him loose on the outside.
You'll see right there, that's where they called that holding. They had, you see the linebacker there, Phoenix Grant. He was the spy on Brungard.
So they need to get to the 34-yard line. Needs 8 yards. 13:40 to go in the ball game. Brungard takes a hit, throws it, somehow caught. Tomczak spinning and grabbing. What a play.
I thought Billy Eastep was going to have a chance to get his hands on his football, but watch Brungard slide in the pocket, throw the ball under duress. Excellent ball placement. Max Tomczak, the clutch, the money man with the big 3rd down conversion.
Boy, 28 yards, and they could be looking back at that play as the one that gave them the breathing room. That was huge. What a pickup. 13 minutes to go. Screen set up right. That time, Bulldogs are there. And they'll blow this one dead.
That's good defense there to snuff that screen out by the Bulldogs. The offensive linemen just weren't able to get downfield to that second level. It's great defense. They need to keep Youngstown State behind the sticks.
That was Ayo Durojaye, who was able to come in and just an impressive season all the way around. The senior out of Maryland, Brungard, throwing one down the field. Good battle for that as Flash Wilson could not get separation, but there is a flag.
Outside. Defense, number 43. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Yeah, Brungard picked it up immediately and took a shot at the free play.
Yeah, that's Micaiah Shaber. There, he was lined up a little funky, but I tell you what, you get a free play. Brungard knew exactly what to do. Go up top.
So, 2nd and 6. Such an important drive as the Penguins looking for more separation and still looking down the field. That one on the near sides is incomplete. And an incredible job by Phoenix Grant to put some pressure on the Brungard.
I'll tell you what, man, this Yale defense has come alive. They just have to get off the field on 3rd down and get a stop. That's good pressure. I mean, we really haven't seen Bo under this type of pressure right here where he gets flushed out. See Phoenix with the delayed blitz. Phoenix Grant forcing an errant throw here. More importantly, that clock stops. Here you go with the 4 guys to one side. Watch the one-on-one matchup or the quarterback draw.
3 of 6 on 3rd down for the Penguins, and they need 6. Brungard, well, he's going to look to throw and has a man. This time it's pulled in. Flash Wilson was there, overran him, and they convert the big 3rd down.
They just out-formationed Yale that time. And you saw the big tight end, Alex McDonald, come in for protection. They left the the flat area, the short outside throw wide open versus that soft zone coverage.
Flash had the key mistake in the third quarter, trying to make up for it now with a big catch on third down. Wright was in motion, Brungard on the keeper, and he tries to get to the outside, but a nice play upended big time by J.P. Schmidt.
That's how you run support. This time, they blocked it. They had a hat for a hat, but he was able to dip up underneath the center, Van Keen, to make that tackle in space.
And he knew to celebrate, because what would have happened if he doesn't get there? It could have been curtains for the ball game. Brungard all alone. Wilson on the screen. Catches it and dances around for about 6 or 7. Just shy of the yard marker.
That was a very, very nice job on defense of just rallying to Wilson, because he's a jitterbug. He can get out of that type of situation.
.413 total yards for Brungard, but here he just needs a few to keep the chains moving, to use up more clock. Gets it off with 5 on the play clock. He's looking for it all. Tomczak, end zone, and it is incomplete. Kamara was there to break it up.
What a play there by Kamara. Once again, that slot seam route. If you want to play at the next level, you just have to be able to play that. I like how he looked inside. Turned to the receiver, Tomczak. He didn't look over his shoulder. A lot of times you lose track of where your guy is. Look at his numbers: 65 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 interceptions. Just did it all as Defensive Player of the Year.
Here's a 46-yard attempt. Lastovka from the left hash has the distance, but misses for the second time today. And Yale gets another monumental second half stop. Well, it is a 13-point ball game. Don't go anywhere. The Bulldogs trying to cut into it here in the fourth. So Dante Reno, how does he end up at Yale, other than the fact his dad is the head coach? Well, he started out getting offers from 30-plus Power 4 programs in the country, ends up going to South Carolina, backing up, was a household name before the season started, in Lenora Sellers. Ended up coming here to Yale, and he understands that conference, the Ivy League. He understands big-time football, and you see it by the way he plays the game.
Yeah, definitely, man. And His father's done a fine job. It's nothing like father-son connection, especially that head coach quarterback type deal.
All right, quick throw. Santiago takes a shot, and a flag comes in late. And that was Dathan Hickey laying out Santiago, who's still on the ground. And now some words from the Bulldogs. They went over because there was some extracurricular after the big hit.
Oh, wow. That's what Hickey likes to do.
Personal foul. Targeting. Defense, number 11. The previous play is under further review.
And now we'll see if he's even allowed to stay in the football game. And this is significant because an ejection here in the second half would warrant a first half suspension in the next round.
Exactly right. And he will be eliminated from this game plus 15. Let's take a look at the rules there, Anthony.
Yeah, so they're looking for a dangerous hit, and that upward thrust is always one of the triggers. Plus helmet.
Let's see, you think you might check that box on that first one. It isn't an upward thrust here. Let's see. That wasn't. He didn't use his helmet, but he did.
You can by letter of the law, it can still be a shoulder hit because it's more about the motion and whether or not the receiver is defenseless, which you'd say in that situation is. Look, it's bang, bang. These are so brutal to try to break down after the fact because the throw does lead him into the defender. So you know it's almost impossible to avoid contact completely.
The question will be, is he defenseless right there? Upward thrust. Watch how his knee buckled right there. You saw that's why they had to help him off. It looked like he couldn't walk off on his own. The former Yale Bulldog himself, Dathan Hickey, going up against his former teammates. This is a huge call because a lot can happen.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. Number 11 can remain in the game. First down, Yale.
And the Bulldog fans cannot believe it. And Santiago, how big of a game is he having? 14 targets. He has 9 catches for 104 yards.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't return, he gave his team all he had. That's a reviewable call. I think they got it right. You know, back in my day, that's kind of how we used to do it back there, man. And
how about him holding on to the football?
Yeah, he sold out for his team, man.
So we'll see if he's going to be available the rest of the game. This time has some blocking. I'll tell you what, nice tackle coming on over to make the play. Dathan Hickey again. And now we have flags, and there is a scuffle. Right over there on the Bulldogs sideline. Tempers flaring. This one supercharged because, again, Hickey has a degree from Yale. So he's going up against his old teammates and now involved in back-to-back plays.
Well, I thought that was a great open field tackle, and right when Hickey gets up, you saw Joseph Nash there, the right guard. You'll see it a little better from this angle. But Pitzenberger gets up a little angry too right there, so he was getting up, getting ready to go after somebody. And then bang, he runs right into him, throw his hands up.
After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 56. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. The down count, second down.
Yeah, he meant 57.
That is number 56, first unsportsmanlike conduct foul for the game.
So Joseph Nash, the senior, was just, I think there'd been a buildup throughout today's contest.
And you just have to understand the situation. I mean, that was a 8-yard run there with momentum. After you pick up a big first down, and now you find yourself on 2nd and 2 sticks for no reason.
And now both fan bases, both sidelines. Energy as high as it's been all game today. Certainly feel like a playoff game at the Ice Palace. In all sorts of trouble. Reno, will he get rid of the football? He finally does. Smart play. Crafty. Making sure to avoid another negative play.
Yale's offense really isn't built to play behind the sticks like this, but right there, I thought they should have went something quick just to settle down to get it into a third and manageable. And I'm not sure if this is a 4-down situation here, depending on what they do on third down.
All right, you're down 13. You have all your timeouts. Of course, 2-minute timeout as well. So let's see. They go with the screen. Anderson gets to the outside. Boy, he has had so many great plays and in big moments. So makes this fourth down manageable, and it is decision time, and the offense staying on the football field.
I like the call there just to throw the ball on a quick screen to get in space. Picked up 9 yards there, and I just thought it was a great call. Youngstown State playing an awfully soft zone prevent defense.
So 4th and 8. Penguin fans on their feet and getting loud. Reno delivers. Over the shoulder catch and the flag. Anderson. What a grab.
Oh my, and there was pass interference. I tell you what, this Anderson, for a true freshman, he has grown up today.
Pass interference. Defense, number 6. That penalty decline. Result of the play is a first down.
27 yards. How about weathering the storm after the Santiago injury? The personal foul afterwards. Then you're going backwards. You absolutely needed that one. And now Anderson has 111 yards and a touchdown to go along with his 8 catches. Reno, end zone. Finally located, but out of bounds as that ball continued to drift away. And Stevens can't make the grab in the end zone.
The unsportsmanlike conduct foul previously was on 57 on the offense, not 56. That is number 57's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
All right, little record keeping there to get things straight.
I really like how they took a shot there, and the clock stops too. Going after the one-on-one matchup, all the momentum now is in Yale's favor.
High snap, collected, and Pitzenberger taking blows and gets inside the 10-yard line.
Great call there by Yale. They go back to the misdirection off the fake jet sweep to their player of the year in the Ivy League, downhill. Watch the misdirection with that jet sweep. It gets guys running, and then you follow up right behind them. I really, really like that call. Look how hard he runs the football. I think he's going to have a chance to play on Sundays.
Well, another 15 yards, and you saw who he talked to immediately after the play. It was the guy that made the tackle again, Dathan Hickey, his former teammate. Handoff, and that time, Penguin defense stymieing the run, 6:40 and ticking.
Just in case you're just now joining us, this score was 35-7 at halftime.
Well, shades of last week when Youngstown State looked like they were cruising up 28-3 at the half in Northern Iowa. And then it was a total reversal in the second half, but they held on for dear life to get the victory, and now they're in a similar scenario. And the handoff, fighting for extra yardage. So, big call coming up here.
I like the call there to run that football. They've got to go faster than this, and there's obviously 4 downs. A lot of substitution. They go to their bigger package with the tight ends. Little 13, 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends.
Well, they're taking their time, but they want to get this one right. The field goal will get you nothing right now. Ball deflected.
No laundry on the field.
That was Cameron Cunningham. We got a piece of it.
Illegal shield on the offense. 2 men moving at one time. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Well, you'll see here, trying to get rid of that football. Big fella gets that left hand up. Like Cameron Cunningham, number 8.
So they're 2 for 2 on 4th down plays. Throw into the end zone. This one is caught. What a touchdown. Graham Smith holding on. And don't count the Bulldogs out yet.
Oh, baby. The big body tight end at 6'5", 240 with the box out slant route. Watch how he gets in front of the cornerback there. Wimpy. They went with the big matchup.
Good hold off that snap. Got that ball off the turf. Extra point is good. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a 1-possession football game. Don't look now. But we got a fun final 5:19 to go at the Ice Palace in Youngstown. Six-point game, and still 5:19 to go. And it certainly has been a tale of 2 halves so far today. Another pooch kick, fielded at the 25, and boy, some controversy there. Flash Wilson wanted to run with it, and the officials came in and said, "You signaled, you are down."
Wow. Youngstown State just has not been themselves this second half. Yale, they came out of that locker room with their hair on fire. Let's take a look and see what truly happened here. The referees blew it dead as if he gave a fair catch signal, and his arms never did go up. His arm never went up to wave a fair catch signal.
I didn't see it there.
Oh, wow. They blew
Could he
that
have
one
made
dead.
any kind of a verbal, which I don't think you can rely on.
Wow.
He couldn't believe it. He had some room to run on the left side either way. And here's the QB run. This time, the Bulldogs are ready. J.P. Schmidt, another great open field tackle.
Oh, J.P., way to come down as a free safety into the boundary. That play right there was money in the first half. Now you see those safeties. Nice way to spill the football there by the big fella, 33. Knocking things around.
Both teams have their full allotment of timeouts.
James caved, man. He caved the ball outside.
2nd and 10 after nothing on first. Brungard, Walter Payton Award finalist this time, hands the ball off into a wall of Bulldog defenders. Well, they have been rejuvenated on the sideline, and don't underestimate, after all the jawing, after they saw their teammate have to leave the field earlier today, Jackson Santiago, we saw him eventually have to get carted off after taking that big hit. Boy, they have come alive. Different football team here in the second half.
Man.
4 of 8 on 3rd down. Brungard all by himself. Has some time now, looking to go and brought down. Big sack. That was Micaiah Shaber, and another stalled drive. Bulldogs have a chance to get the football back. Down just 6 points. What a comeback.
I tell you what, they did a great job here defending the formation. They took his reads away, and they didn't overrun in their pass rush lanes, and they were able to get the sack there. Shaber gets credit.
Ball bounces. Tarver has had a lot of big returns today and sets up the Bulldogs quite nicely. They will mark it officially at the 44-yard line. 2:57 to go and a chance to take the lead. Who'd have thunk it?
I tell you what, defensive coordinator Jay Anderson, Sam McGowan, those guys dialed it up that last series. Everything Youngstown State did in the first half did not work on that last drive. Quarterback run. Bo trying to make it happen with his legs, scrambling. They dialed it up a little differently.
All right, ready for a big fourth quarter finish. Hitzenberger, he's got room, bursting. 15, 10, 5, touchdown, 44 yards to the house. We're tied.
Oh, whoa. FCS Playoffs are here, baby. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Just a simple little outside zone. Hickey gets lost in the sauce, loses his run gap, and this is what you do when you're an NFL running back. You hit the home run when it matters.
And there is the lead. The Bulldogs have come back from down 35-7, and now they're up 43-42. The Penguins down for the first time today.
Let's take a look at it again. This offensive line, the big fellas, just tearing things up. That was Dylan Garrity, 55, man. The way he sealed that edge, you could just tell when Pitzenberger got the football, he had one thing on his mind, and it was pay dirt.
How about second half? Pitzenberger, 17 carries, 135, pair of touchdowns, and has completely changed this football game.
Youngstown State 35-7 outscored Yale. And I'll tell you what, you talk about in the second half, they come back and outscore them 36-7, which puts them up 1. We're going to find out if Bo, Brungard, and the boys can do it.
Here he is. Flash Wilson looking for room. Oh, he's taken down, absorbing the big hit. Kamara put him down.
And that's what you want. You want your All-Americans or your All-Conference on your kickoff team. When the game is on the line here, this Yale team has played some of the most inspired football I've seen out of anybody. In one half, two completely different looking football teams.
I'll tell you, there was a lot of talk about a different game, one state away up north. Do we have the biggest game of the day so far?
I think we got the best one for sure.
What a comeback. And now YSU. Brungard in trouble and incomplete. He was looking for Jaden Gilbert coming back to the football. Now all of a sudden under duress.
One of the differences that you're seeing, and you'll see Dylan Yang there, 98. Let's see. Field goal. 0 for 2 today. Could have been the difference in the ball game so far. They're going to have to count on that young man if they can get down the field goal area. But I tell you what, they are keeping Brungard in the box. They're not letting him get outside.
Second and 10. Brungard. Now needing to put the team on his back. Played perfectly. What a job by J.P. Schmidt, who's been everywhere in this second half.
Whoa, J.P. Schmidt is playing lights out at that safety position. From his nickel, they played 3 safeties. I think Brungard could have took off and ran that one. That was tight coverage. Now they're passing off those routes in the back end, making plays. They did not make that play in the first half. They've made a lot of defensive adjustments, and you see them here.
Boy, Brungard just had his way for the entire first half, and it's been a completely different story in the second. 3rd and 10. Ball incomplete. That one died on the way to Max Tomczak. Unbelievable what a turn of events we've had today.
I'm telling you right now, everything's falling a day late and a dollar short for Youngstown. Right now, they're looking to go for it. They have all 3 timeouts.
I can't believe that. It's
plus
4th
the 2
and
minute.
10. Yes. This is shocking.
4th and 10.
To me.
Wowzers. Might have to just take it on up top.
Tomczak got situated in the slot. Brungard has time. That one nearly picked off. It'll be a turnover on downs. Joshua Tarver came in to make the play and make it 0 for his last 6 for Bo Brungard.
And Brungard missed his running back. Gardner was wide open on the short side of the field. Yale played man-to-man with 2 safeties over the top. They undercut all the routes, turned the running back loose, and he just couldn't find him. What a great defensive series for this Yale Bulldogs team.
Look, I know today teams are more aggressive than ever before, but way back at your own 27 when you have the timeouts, the 2-minute timeout as well.
And they're in field goal range. You gotta understand, they can bleed this clock and go for a field goal. Next thing you know, it's a different ballgame. Now you need a touchdown. You gotta stop 7.
And of course, he gets the football on first, and they do their job on first down, and it looks like they're going to use their first timeout.
Youngstown State has their first timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
So what has been the biggest change? Because if people left our game at halftime, they would not believe that score right now.
I would say a sense of urgency. They were able to score every time they got the ball. Also, they created a turnover. And I think they put the pressure. They kept fighting. They played complimentary football. Youngstown State had some penalties, and they really just kind of couldn't get it back going offensively. But they switched up their defensive plan a little bit, too. They said, Somebody else had to beat them besides Tomzak and Brungard. Gilbert was the only guy that really made a play in that run game, but the defense really, really fell apart.
2nd and 9. Again, bottled up. So Penguins will use another timeout. And there's a penalty, and this is a backbreaker.
And they called timeout. That's unsportsmanlike. He slapped him right across the face mask. That was Makai Shaid, it looked like. He slapped Spencer Mermans right across the kisser. A very costly.
Dead ball. A sportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 6. 15, half the distance. Automatic first down. That is also number 6 first. Unsportsmanlike conduct foul for the game.
Now, can they take the timeout off the board?
It looks like that's what they're doing. But that was dead ball. Timeout happened first and then the slap. And if I'm Coach Reno, I'm arguing that they give him the timeout and the penalty. Wow, that was an undisciplined play. A new set of downs. They still got the 2-minute timeout there. Wowzers.
All right, we are.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Sitting there, the 2-minute timeout. That ball is at the 12-yard line. I suggest you stick right here with us in Youngstown, what could be a dazzling finish. Here we are, Yale 43, Youngstown State 42. So it looks like they did give the Penguins back that timeout. Here's the handoff. Down to the 5-yard line. Pitsenberger.
Timeout.
What a second half
Youngstown
he
State.
has had.
That is their second charge timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
I really, really think, this is the turning point here. Look at Yale. They just kept it steady, Eddie, coming out of that locker room. Give it to 7, and things happen. That's the play. I think that jet sweep that was working. You see Anderson, he became a dude. Everybody's just start contributing. That's Graham Smith right there, the big body tight end. Defense kept getting the ball back. And this man here hit that home run as soon as they got the football back. Pitzenberger.
And he has 202 yards now on the day. Just electric. They have scored 5 touchdowns on 5 possessions here in the second half. The second down run. And he squeezes through, but does he score? No! He goes down at the 1-yard line.
Oh, baby.
So he could have walked it in. So it depends how old school you are when it comes to clock management. Because now that's going to use up some time. Penguins have 1 timeout left.
How unselfish is the record-setting running back? I tell you what, that was big time. That's a Yale student-athlete at his finest. Smart and getting it done and understanding the situation.
And now with 1 second left on the play clock.
Yale, that is their first charge timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
So they got the new set of downs here. And it gets really interesting because Youngstown State, I mean, I've seen teams in the NFL in situations like these try to drag players into the end zone.
No, what you do is you take the knee now. What you do, there's 1 timeout. This is first down, right? Mm-hmm. First and goal on the 1. 3 knees, the game's over. You can ice it. And that was one of the most intelligent plays by Pitzenberger. And I think, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you credit, Anthony. They should have let them score. Save your timeouts, let them score, get the ball back with 2 timeouts in about 1 minute and 45, and then there's a different ball game. Right here, you take the knee in victory formation, and the game's over.
This just has to be unbelievable for the Penguin fans in attendance. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our bracket and what this sets up as long as Yale.
Timeout. Youngstown State. That's their 3rd and final timeout of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, we saw Jackson Santiago there on crutches on the sidelines. Because I'm telling you, him leaving the football game, we were wondering when maybe the turning point officially happened. It felt like the team rallied around that hit, and even though it didn't go down as targeting and they lost their talented receiver, things changed after that. There was a renewed energy on that sideline.
Something happened. It galvanized their effort to make this comeback. They kept fighting, they kept believing, and they were very efficient on offense. What a finish for the Yale Bulldogs. A tale of 2 halves. One of the greatest comeback efforts we have ever seen at any level.
This is one of those that it could be program defining in the modern age of Yale football. First year ever having an opportunity to go to the playoffs. They come to Youngstown State, and when they saw that on the selection show, they saw a team that had won 17 straight home playoff games right here at the Ice Palace. They were down 35-7 at the half, and here they are in victory formation.
And it started with that first 4th down. Lucius Anderson caught that deep ball. Big time catch on that first drive of the 3rd quarter. What a comeback win.
It was 42-29 when Santiago went down with an injury. And Yale comes all the way back. 43-42. It is a final here at Youngstown State. Yale moving on off to Bozeman, Montana. Next Saturday, 2 o'clock, ESPN+. Marcus, we just saw one of the great comebacks in FCS playoff history.
I tell you what, it's just, we don't have to analyze the game. Let's just talk about the guts, the grit, the belief, what Coach Reno has instilled in his program. They came out and fought and outplayed them, and a 2-point conversion when he didn't even need it was the difference.
All right, that's Marcus Ray for everybody working hard to make this production happen today in Youngstown. FCS playoff action, all part of the NCAA championships. This game is in the books. Yale comes from down 35-7, making history here at Stambaugh Stadium. 43-42, it is a final. And for all your FCS needs, make sure to check out ESPN+. So long, everybody. I'm Anthony Lima.